All right, we're at the start of day 2. We're getting everybody fed this morning with some good breakfast before we start our day of the tour of memorials. Morning came early at 6 a.m. for these veterans. Everyone fueled up before we headed out. Speaking with one of the High Plains board members, he tells me he's been doing these flights for 10 years. In that time, he befriended a World War II veteran who confided in him not every veteran gets a homecoming.
He got home from the war a year and a half after it ended, and the only people that met him there was his mom and dad. And he said he got there at around midnight. He woke up the next morning and went to work at 6 a.m.
Many of these soldiers came back with unseen injuries. After breakfast, we headed towards the World War II Memorial, which honors 16 million U.S. Armed Forces members and a wall of over 4,000 stars that commemorates the ultimate sacrifice of almost 406,000 Americans. 97-year-old World War II veteran Richard Chubb says the memorial brings back good and bad memories.
I remember people I knew. It's hard. I was doing real well until they showed a picture of the barrel at sea, and that brought back bad ones. So.
The next stop was Arlington National Cemetery and the home of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. The cemetery was established in May of 1864, and more than 400,000 people are buried there. The property is managed by the U.S. Department of the Army that has a changing of the guard every half to full hour depending on the time of year. John F. Kennedy is also buried there. Next was the Iwo Jima U.S. Marine Corps War Memorial. The 16-foot bronze statue is modeled after the iconic photograph taken by Joe Rosenthal. It shows 6 soldiers raising the American flag at Iwo Jima on February 1945, concluding the American campaign in the Pacific during World War II. The Vietnam Memorial was next. Over 58,000 Americans gave their lives, and it's the most visited memorial on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. The wall was dedicated as a promise to never forget those who served and sacrificed during the Vietnam War.
I forgot about Vietnam whenever I came back.
More than 100 veterans of the Vietnam War made this journey. Please know you are seen. Even those of us in the Pentagon, you're honored, you're remembered, and from my heart, you are loved.
This is hard. Carrying the stuff around for 50 years is hard to just eliminate in 2 days.
This country had to learn a very, very hard lesson the hardest possible way. And it was through your example that they learned it. And there's nothing we can do to go back and change that, but we can honor and carry it forward and make sure that never happens again, and that we continue honoring our brothers and sisters that serve.
The people with the honor flight gave me some closure. The people standing along the route and the people waving flags, and even the people here that comes by and says thank you to us. It does. After 50 years, it is rewarding.
I'm just delighted when I see our veterans come, and so is everybody else in Washington. They stop, they'll salute, they'll shake hands, they'll say thank you for your service.
And finally, we arrived at the Lincoln Memorial.
We have families tell us all the time, Uncle Joe never talked about his experiences, in the service, and he went on your flight, and now we can't get him to shut up.
The next High Plains honor flight is happening in September, and for those who made it back, we'd like to say welcome home and thank you for your service in Washington, D.C., for Wyoming. Because local matters, I'm Valeria Fugate, Wyoming News Now.